I used to let fear dictate a lot of my life. Sometimes it was fear of the unknown, sometimes it was fear of the known. It was clear to see now just how limiting that was. One of my earliest and most vivid memories is being given an atlas that both enthralled and terrified me. Along with the maps, I read about the dinosaurs and how the continents formed. Then there were hurricanes and tornadoes and a volcano that had appeared one day in a farmer's field and covered the village in lava. I couldn't sleep. Nobody told me we didn't have volcanoes in Oxfordshire. At some point, I learned to put things in perspective, to consciously examine risks rather than shy away from them. I learned to actively seek the unknown. I got comfortable being uncomfortable. That led to personal growth I never thought possible. The volcano in the farmer's field was none other than Paricutin, in the state of Michoacan, in the southwest of Mexico. So when I had the chance years later, I went and climbed it. Michoacan is an incredibly beautiful but very conflicted state with several local factions vying for control. Despite the warnings, I got on the bus. When I arrived at a small village near there, I stepped back in time to a place where people still traveled on horseback and spoke the indigenous language. The next morning, I walked up that volcano and climbed right into the active crater with steam rising and the rocks hot to touch. At the top of the ash cone, I could see the whole valley spread out below me. By focusing on what I really wanted, I changed that internal state, and the external world changed with it. It became a marvelous place to be explored and experienced, full of people who would help me on my way. Fear itself became an ally that allowed me to expose and examine risk, which led me to clarity. There are always going to be surprises, there will always be variables, but when we plan for contingencies, we become more adaptable and resilient, ready for when they hit. This is exactly how I work at Wiseman Advisory. Fear setting, it's rarely as bad as you think it is. Red teaming and stress testing plans to protect your flanks. Mapping worst case scenarios and then mitigating them. I learned to move through fear like I moved through that landscape. Faced with a sea of sharp black rocks with no discernible path, I didn't try and walk it alone. I got myself a guide. So let's talk and start walking, because everything you desire is on the other side